The Saints hired Dennis Allen. It's his second stint as a head coach. He went 8-28 with the Raiders from 2012 to 2014. And they had other candidates, but he ultimately beat them out because he was very successful as the Saints defensive coordinator. The Saints defense ranked 4th in yards and points over the last 3 seasons. And even when Sean Payton was not coaching this team, when he was absent from this team, Dennis Allen was the head coach. And that was the game they shut out the Buccaneers, beat them 9-0. First time Tom Brady's gotten shut out since 2006. And Dennis Allen was the head coach that game. Internal candidate. I guess I'm not as low on this hire as other ones or as the Lovie Smith one because I don't think this is actually a sham. I think they actually believe in Dennis Allen. But when they said they were going to interview Bieniemy, I thought he had the job pretty much. But I can understand why. I mean, he's been their defense coordinator since 2015. That defense has gotten better with him, and it's still playing at an elite level. They're probably losing Marcus Williams, but most of the defense is being kept intact. Lattimore, Cameron Jordan, Marcus Davenport, Onyemata, Demario Davis, Malcolm Jenkins, Paulson Adebo, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Their main guys are staying. So I think that continuity is important for the Saints. And now it's just about being good offensively. Now it's just about drafting a receiver in the draft like a Garrett Wilson or Olave or Treylon Burks or Drake London and getting a difference maker. Maybe Michael Thomas finally decides he wants to play and he plays. I think that if their defense plays at this level and they have decent weapons on the outside, Taysom Hill can win some games. I'm not totally out on Taysom Hill.
You're not trying to bring in a new QB?
I'm trying to, but I'm not forcing it.
I think you have to.
I think so too, personally.
I don't think you could go in with just Taysom Hill and like Ian Book.
Because what pick are they about to have?
Teens,
19?
late teens,
18?
No, early teens probably.
Because there's a possibility.
Late teens, definitely.
There's a
I'm going
possibility.
to check right now.
There's 14 teams make the playoffs. They didn't make the playoffs, so that's 18 right there.
You said early teens, though. That's like top 15.
Yeah, you made a mistake. You made a mistake. Because right in that
18th
range,
overall pick.
18th, in that range, that's probably where Willis and Hackett's going to be.
I'm not drafting a quarterback in the first round on the Saints.
But what do they really need? Do they
a receiver?
But you could get one in the second.
Nah, bro.
You
Like
could
it's a
get
different.
one
Like
in the second.
It's a difference between Garrett Wilson in the first and
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Dotson.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but there's a need.
A receiver.
You have Michael Thomas. He comes back. You don't need a receiver.
That's a huge question mark.
Agreed. But it's been a whole season now. If he doesn't come back, you're right. 100%. I apologize. You're right.
He played a little bit.
That's what fogged my memory a little bit.
Came back, then got hurt again.
Yep. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. Go ahead. Cut you off. No, all right. Well, I'm sorry, bro. I just think personally, Taysom Hill is not a bad person to have at quarterback. It's just not ideal.
Yeah, far from.
You bring in a guy in Hackett who has potential. You bring in a guy, Willis, who has a solid arm, who is pretty athletic. I just think that I would rather take that gamble and second, third, use that on a skill position player like a receiver. Michael Thomas has been out for a while. If he doesn't come back, it's solely based on the fact that he doesn't want to play Saints football. That's really what it is. I don't think it's a matter of injury. He had the surgery. He took this whole season to get better, to come back for whenever he wants to come back. If he doesn't come back, it's solely because he wants to be on a different team. I think that you take the chance, go QB, especially because people are low on these QBs. They're at a perfect spot where they could land one of the top quarterback prospects in this draft. Not that it's saying overly much, but you don't have to move to get what could be your franchise guy. So I'm not totally against it.
If I'm the Saints, I'm trying to bring back Jameis. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still like Jameis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Completely forgot about him.
I think 2 quarterbacks at most go in the first round.
I agree.
2 at most.
The ones that I said.
It's Malik Willis is probably the first one off the board because he has the most talent.
Yep.
And rightfully so. Kenny Pickett probably goes second. If I'm the Saints, I'm just going to wait in the second round and grab whatever I can get. That's really it.
QB?
Yeah.
Like a Matt Corral.
Like a Matt Corral or a
Howell.
Desmond or
But
Howell.
where
Desmond
history
Ritter.
has shown you that second-round wide receivers pop more often than a second-round QB, wouldn't you take that risk?
The one issue I have with taking...
You know what I mean?
The reason I say no is because, you
Garrett
have...
Wilson's a beast, yeah.
It's not even that. It's just that you have to trust your evaluation.
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as that. And if you have a grade on this player that's a great receiver,
Mm-hmm.
you have a great grade on this guy, you have to take him.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't risk waiting in the second round. And I think that's how teams get, messed
Burned.
up, messed
Mm-hmm.
over. Justin Jefferson was the first round pick.
T. Higgins was second. There's a difference, but I mean, still a great player.
Significant, though.
Yeah. I mean, Justin Jefferson came in the league. and
Jamar
was a top
Chase
three
was the
receiver.
was the fifth pick in the draft.
But Jettas was the fourth receiver? No, fifth, excuse me, because they took Rieger over Jettas.
It
Yeah.
took Judy, Ruggs, and
That's
Lamb.
the fifth.
Lamb.
Yeah, he was the fifth receiver taken off the board. It's not. There's going.
That could be that. It might not even be Wilson though. Like, because I think Garrett
right
Wilson.
now,
I don't know
what
if
is
Wilson's there
Wilson?
at 18.
Garrett Wilson probably goes first. I think second is
It's hard.
Traylon Burks maybe
Uh-huh.
or
London.
Jamison Drake. Yeah, Drake London,
Mhm.
Jamison Williams. If anything,
It's like he
One of them will
potentially
be there.
could drop
One
to
of
the
those
second
four will
round.
be
yeah,
there.
one of them might be there.
I think
it might be
Jameis
the
isn't
fourth,
gonna-
fifth
I
receiver
think
taken.
I
Jameis will be
hope
a
not.
first-round
I
pick.
hope not. He deserves
His
to go
speed
high.
is different.
Yeah.
The one issue I have about taking a quarterback in the first round, especially if you're the Saints, is there's just going to be pressure to start him. And I don't think any of these quarterbacks are really going to be ready to come in and start the first season.
Is there pressure? Do you
If
think?
you take a quarterback in the first round, there's going to be pressure to start
But
him.
there's been
Especially if you're starting quarterbacks, maybe Taysom Hill, because
or
he's going to
Jameis
struggle.
or Jameis.
Yeah.
And the reason he's going to struggle is because they have no weapons.
Yeah.
Like,
But if Michael Thomas comes back, that's not that much of an
bro,
issue.
I'm not counting on Thomas anymore. I think
get
it's
it.
more likely he gets traded than it comes back and plays for the Saints.
Yeah, I also think he could get traded too. I don't know. If I'm the Saints, I talked about it, like this is a scenario. You brought in a new head coach. You mentioned about their defense, but a couple of their key guys like Demario Davis and Cam Jordan, they're getting older. They're in like their early to mid 30s now. They're not getting any younger.
Still a beast.
They're still really good. The one thing they have going for them is the NFC South is going to be atrocious next year. You have the Bucks. Who knows what they can do in at quarterback? They have a bunch of free agents, not a ton of cap room. The Panthers with Sam Darnold. Who knows what that's going to look like? And the Falcons, who are probably the favorites for the division right now because at least they have Matt Ryan. They have a viable quarterback.
If the Bucks get Jimmy G, they probably win the division.
I agree. I think that's my top spot for him to go also.
Even still, the division's winnable. It doesn't go from Brady to Jimmy G. You go from a 13-win team to like a 10-win team.
I don't know.
Carolina?
With that infrastructure.
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, they probably bring someone in.
Yeah, but they don't make a big move, I don't think.
So I think that defense is trending in the right direction.
Oh, for sure.
They do have the weapons.
Don't sleep on Atlanta.
I'm just not sleeping on the Panthers if they change.
Even though
quarterback.
Atlanta can't make any moves.
Talent-wise.
Who's their quarterback?
That's
you know what I'm saying?
agreed.
Like,
Agreed.
are you going to trade?
Get Teddy
for-
back.
Yeah, that's the thing. The only team you don't question the quarterback is the Falcons. That's because they got a guy in Matt Ryan.
It's because they're
who's a playmaker.
Because the other guys you compare him to are Taysom Hill, Sam Darnold, and Ian Book, or whoever you want to put in the Bucks. Like,
Why you disrespect Matt Ryan?
Kyle Trask.
yeah, sorry, Ian Book's
He's-
on the Saints.
he's
Facts.
sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Kyle Trask.
I'm not high on Kyle Trask. I just don't. Look, I think the Saints are in a weird position to where they're really not a quarterback away from contending.
Nah.
And because of that, you look at teams like 49ers, you look at it's that team.
That's interesting.
You look at teams like the 49ers, you look at the teams like the Bucks. They were at one point a quarterback away. That's why the Bucks went and got Brady. That's why the 49ers, well, they haven't made a move, but the Rams, they went out and got Stafford because of that reason. The
49ers
Saints,
kind of with
the
Lance.
Saints just have no weapons. Like their tight ends are not good. Their receivers are not good. They just have nothing.
And then they have this Alvin Kamara issue going on.
that's
Like
crazy.
they turned Jameis, who was a gunslinger, into a check down quarterback because they had nothing. And Alvin Kamara just got arrested.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
he's gonna be dealing with who knows what.
They have nothing. Like they need to just invest in skill positions.
It depends on what happens with Michael Thomas. If he gets traded, he gets traded. That's it. But
What are you getting for him? A second? You're not getting.
I
first.
if I'm
believe-
Miami,
I
there you go.
believe
You're not getting a first.
I believe this.
That's a late first though. It's like
and
25.
that's also a lot of money that's coming onto the to the cap.
I
Which
mean,
is
they have
why-
all the money. You guys have the money to spend.
which is why
so.
you guys.
I
Big fan.
believe the Saints win 10 games because I think that defense is still going to be great. Taysom Hill can win games. He can win games. They just need to have weapons on offense.
You think they could win 10 games?
with that defense being that good
It's
with
way too
weapons.
Let's make a bet. I'll take the under.
I have to see how the roster looks out. I'm not like
I'll take the.
I'm just saying they just have to have an average offense and they can win 10 games.
This guy's quick trigger with the bets.
That's how great their defense
I will
is.
take the under at like minus 200 right now.
Bro,
Under
they
10
won.
wins.
They went 8-9 or 9-8 this past
9.
season.
Mhm.
9-8, bro.
And they
with
just lost,
no weapons.
They just
though.
lost one of the best head coaches in the league.
You're right.
No, and I don't hate Dennis Allen. Like the Saints came out and said they want to make it an easy transition from Sean Payton to their next guy, which makes sense why
I don't
they have
think
someone
the defense
in-house.
drops off though.
I don't think so. I mean, he's been their DC for
Yeah.
years.
So that's why I'm confident in the defense. I don't think it drops off. Sean Payton made the offense stay somewhat afloat because he's that genius of an OC as a play caller, as a head coach. But that's why you need to invest in skill positions because you need to have this. You have to have this next OC be able to make
something out of nothing.
Make a
And
meal with ingredients.
we've been
Because Sean
talking-
Payton had no ingredients and he was still cooking up something.
And they could possibly lose their best offensive lineman to free agency too. That would be a huge hit to their offense. If Armstead walks,
Yeah. But even then they had Ryan Ramczyk.
I was going to say I didn't know how to pronounce his last name, Ramczyk.
yeah. But I mean, Armstead's a top 3 tackle in the league, top 3 left tackle. You know, so
You're right.
even if you move off, even if he walks, like that's going to take a hit.
But that's why the Saints were at least manageable on offense because they had a great offensive line. I wouldn't even say they're manageable. That's why they weren't dead last because they had a great offensive
Well, they
line.
actually were out for a good amount of games, actually. Ramczyk and Armstead missed a good amount of time down the stretch of the season.
Ryan Ramczyk, Andres Pete, Eric McCoy, Cesar Ruiz.
Yeah,
Cesar Ruiz is the only liability
he's
there.
a second-year player, right? He's
You said Armstead's left tackle, right?
Yeah.
So do you think he has the ability to play right tackle?
I don't know. I don't know if he played in college or early in his career. He's
'Cause-
played left tackle forever for the Saints. So that's the only reason I know.
Because he would have to play right tackle for the Dolphins, which is why I ask.
It would make sense.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, he's talented. He's a vet. Like he's 30, 31. Wouldn't shock me, but I don't know when the last time he played right tackle, if at all.
Because I know there's offensive linemen that do not like to move.
Yeah, for
Orlando
sure.
Brown said, "Get me out of Baltimore," because he said, "I'm a left tackle."
Left tackles tend to also get paid more because they normally protect the blind side.
But question, in this situation, since Tua is a lefty, would it be that the right tackle gets paid more?
No, it depends on the player, right?
Like Armstead.
Well,
He would get paid like a left tackle,
well,
but
he
then
is-
play right tackle.
Yeah, facts.
Okay.
Because he is a left tackle.
Andres Pete virtually missed the entire year.
Guard.
Yeah.
They also need to bring in another running back. Who's their backup this year?
It was Mark Ingram when they brought him in.
Yeah.
Mark Ingram, and he wasn't terrible.
I know.
But Jones. No.
Oh, yeah, Jones.
T. Jones.
Yeah. Tony Jones.
There you go.
Yeah, Dynasty stash. I cut him, I think.
Ooh.
I just think they need to invest in some weapons.
Yeah, no, you're right.
skill
You're right.
positions.
You're right.
I'm not high on Michael Thomas. Like if he plays, I'm high,
Okay, there
obviously.
we go.
But like I'm not invested on him coming back to the Saints.
That's a good
and becoming
question,
the lead
though. If
receiver.
Michael when he comes back, is he even a top 5 receiver?
No, hell no.
He's
Top 5?
top 5. No, there's a lot of talent
He
in the
might not even be
NFL.
top 10.
See, that's where you lose me a little bit.
You think he wouldn't be top 10?
It's borderline.
It's hard because he hasn't played it so long.
Like I'm still taking him over Amari Cooper. I probably still take him over CeeDee Lamb.
The Orange aren't top 10 receivers.
No, I'm just naming really good receivers that I'm putting.
What about
over.
him and Mike Evans? Who would you take?
Damn.
Taking Hopkins over him?
At this point,
Yeah.
are we getting a healthy D-Hop?
Yeah,
It don't
going
even
into
matter.
next season.
Yeah, I'll take D-Hop.
Taking AJ Brown over him?
Easily.
TBD.
Come on. That's
TBD.
easy.
Are you taking Keenan Allen over him?
No, I'm taking Michael Thomas.
Taking Deontay?
I would probably take Michael.
Wait, so what? Hold up. You're taking Keenan Allen. You're not taking Keenan Allen, but
I'm taking Michael. Both of these guys
okay,
over.
okay.
Taking Jalen Waddle going into next year?
It's heartstrings. So
Chris
he could
Godwin.
be. He could be Chris Godwin.
We're right at that like 11,
Yeah,
12 tier.
yeah.
Because I didn't even mention
Yeah.
Kupp, Adams, Jettas, Jamar, Tyreek, Debo, Stephon Diggs.
well, this is interesting. We'll see how Michael Thomas bounces back.
That is interesting. Those are tough names. Keenan Allen.
DK?
Yes, I'm taking Michael. Michael Thomas, when he's on the field, we can't forget that he broke records.
I know. We're just 3 years removed.
Is it 3?
It's 20.
It's going to be 3.
Yeah, next year it'll be 3 years.
He'll play next season. There's no doubt in my mind Michael Thomas is suiting up.
Calvin Ridley.